aggressive guarding the rim. Jennings trying to put some pressure on Matt.
Good job.
Shot clock down to 6. Matt lost the dribble. Gets it back. Knocked away again. Let's come up with a turnover.
Without a doubt. Good hands by Jennings.
Jennings to the basket. Scoop low.
Previously Rose point blank range. This time Jennings.
Back to Joe Johnson. Rodney Hood gets inside. Back out Johnson. Johnson for 3. Did that hit the top of the backboard? Or I mean the shot clock? Because it's good if it hits the top of the backboard. They count the 3.
Hit the top of the backboard.
I thought it may have hit the shot clock, which would mean...
Oh, it sat there for a second at the top of the backboard.
This time Rose finishes.
This pace has quickened now, folks. And we've had a good game this afternoon.
Rose now 10.6 assists.
Still a lot of drama remaining.
Lyles kicks it out to Mack. Mack can't get it. Favors has it. Stripped by Rose and stolen. Let's have a 3-on-2. Rose struggles a bit with his dribble. Finds Lee. Three-pointer. It's good. Defense leads to offense, and the Knicks back within 3.
The 3-ball propelling both teams. Jennings almost coming up with a steal.
Mack was trying to call timeout. Jennings almost was able to take it away. And now Quinn Snyder gets the timeout call. I don't see that three-pointer, Clyde, but he didn't come close.
Let's take a look at JJ. A little serendipity right here. Hanging on the top of the glass. It goes. And then Lee igniting the Knicks as the Jazz talk it over.
When Chili started, love was free. Our food was pretty darn close too. We're keeping that spirit alive with fajitas, a salad, and a mini molten cake for just $10. Chili's, chillin' since '75. When you run your own restaurant, every night is opening night. Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema before it's available on Netflix or Redbox.
You are Tarzan. Tarzan.
There's 1,000 men down there, 20,000 more on the way.
We don't stand a chance. Thumb on my back.
Don't think for a second you're saving my life.
The Legend of Tarzan. Movies start at Channel 125.
5-star reviews.
I'm always asked, why do you have the Chicago Bulls Argyle sock monkey? They always say, why don't you have one? 5 stars.
5 stars. Meditation is about thinking of nothing. 5 stars.
I rock the 0 on my chest just like the best.
5 stars.
For all the basics and so much more, NBAstore.com/Knicks.
Time for today's game summary, brought to you by Hyundai. The free throw disparity in favor of the Jazz. Porzingis and Anthony had a big start to the game, but foul trouble hurt Porzingis. Hayward hasn't shot the ball well, but he gets to the free throw line. And Utah, a big start to the fourth. How about this? First half, the Jazz shot 38%. Here in the second half, 64% shooting for Utah in the second half.
Yeah, there you saw Melo sitting on the bench. Coach decided not to go to him right now. The Knicks are thriving. Hill is back, though. I mean, he injured his hand, but he's back now.
Oh, and Hood nails a three-pointer. It's back up to 6. Lee, Rose, Jennings, those two, the 2 point guards finished the game in Chicago the other night when Porzingis had foul trouble. Bad pass that time from Rose. And the Knicks' 10th turnover. Let's check in with Rebecca.
Mike, quick update on George Hill. He actually jammed his figure earlier in the ballgame, so when he left after that defensive possession against Rose, that's not where the injury occurred. So again, he is back in this game playing with a jammed finger.
He's in a lot of pain. Thank you, Rebecca.
But it's been Hood who's been good, igniting them now.
And Hood gets whacked on the pass.
Oh, Rose would have had that steal. Lee.
Rose picks up the personal. Second team foul. Third on Rose. Anthony and Noah come back in.
Knicks ready to make this last push with Melo. So he's been magnificent this afternoon, isolating.
Hill keeps his dribble alive. Trying to wrap around pass. And Courtney. Knicks are getting frustrated with the calls, but it didn't appear. It only appeared to foul him, is what I'm going to say. Now he's trying to make his case with Curtis Blair. He's saying that he's flailing.
Previously, Rose was doing the same thing just before that. So we can't say that's the case, Mike. They've been fouling too much all game.
Good. Lee high for the rebound.
They're doubling KP when he looks to post up.
Noah gets it, drives him, then throws it away.
Good anticipation by JJ.
Johnson with the steal. Gobert is just playing off Noah and daring him to shoot. Hood from the corner. That's a three-pointer for Rodney Hood. And the lead is 9. Largest lead of the game for Utah.
2 big 3 balls by Hood.
Rose drives, goes hard, shots good, and a foul. The strength of Rose on full display there. He got hit and still got off the shot. A chance for a three-point play.
But this is indicative of what the Knicks are doing. They're working laboriously to get their offense going. So everything is off the dribble, hounding, pounding, and a magnificent shot just to get to the line. So Rose shooting 1.
That super slow-mo brought to you by Sprite. That shows you that slow-mo, just how much contact there is on that one drive to the basket.
Yep, and the stress on this guy's leg while he's been injury prone. He muscles his way with quickness.
You like the assist numbers, 11 on Friday night, 7 more today.
The Knicks need defense now. Hood's getting open.
Hood's got 10 points already here in the fourth.
The Jazz are, as you know, very methodical on the offense. But they're making the Knicks work the whole 24 seconds.
6-point game. Still plenty of time remaining. The Knicks need to tighten up the defense, and Hill making that difficult. Another strong game for Hill. 19 points. He came in averaging 20 a game. Rose to Anthony. Anthony catch and shoot. Knicks now 8 of 18 from downtown. Really took his eye off him.
Knicks doing good pressure. Look how far they're on the perimeter.
Gobert the high screen. Hood fires away and throws up an air ball. And Anthony very close to just shoving Gobert. He's got to be careful on that.
So good swarming defense that time, forcing the air ball. Knicks will bring it up.
Never doesn't matter.
Utah already with a good road win. They beat the Spurs in San Antonio. Beat them handily in the double figures. Now trying to get the Knicks going. Here is Rose. Drives. Porzingis has Hill on him. Rose penetrates. Throws it out to Thomas.
Look at the good D by Gobert on Rose.
Nice pass in. Porzingis. Porzingis moving without the ball, and Anthony found him cutting across the lane.
Yeah, they've been trying to get it to him, but he's been double teamed, so that time able to come open.
You're watching the Foxwoods Final 5, 4.5 remaining. Hill drives, short, no, it goes in, hit the front of the rim.
They've had some fortuitous bounces this afternoon. Another one by Hill.
Rose the crossover. Spins. Tries to draw a foul. He does, and one. Acrobatic move from Derrick Rose and a chance for another three-point play.
Gobert has been on his case like Sherlock Holmes. But this time, Rose able to manipulate around him. That head fake right there runs right into him and able to finish. Watch Gobert.
He took the worst of it, too, but he picks up his fifth foul.
Rose able to stop the clock and look for one more.
Chance of Derrick Rose from the Garden crowd. He has a chance to cut it to 5. Rose now with 16 points. He has 10 here in the fourth quarter.
He's got a D up on this guy. They had trouble with Hill.
Hayward. And Conley Simpson. What's happening is the Knicks are switching or trying to help defensively, wind up switching, and somebody's not going over to the original screener.
Lead in Teflon defense that time.
Pass deflected, good hands from Hill. And stolen back by Courtney Lee.
Lee redeeming himself for his previous blunder.
Porzingis way downtown.
Always a bad shot if it doesn't go, folks.
Yeah, that's a tough one, Clyde.
Yeah.
Several feet beyond the arc. Not a good shot.
Yeah, Hayward has the mismatch now. He's 6'8", Rose 6'3".
Looks to back in. Help defense stolen by Thomas. Ahead now to Lee, and Hood knocks it away. Both teams a little sloppy with the ball right now. Hayward the drive and the finish. Jeff Hornacek needs a timeout. Opportunities there, but the Knicks unable to capitalize. And they're down 9 with just over 3 remaining.
Jazz are making their own breaks now. They've had some lucky bounces for baskets. But this time they could hustle in transition. The Knicks were out of position. And that allowed Hayward to do this. Stupid hoop.
Passed down a special gift. An original recipe with only 3 ingredients and all of them natural. I also have a special gift. The ability to cry on demand. It's beautiful.
Only 3 natural ingredients. There's more of it in the start.
Indulge yourself in an evening of timeless classics with the Goo Goo Dolls. November 20th, 7 p.m. Foxwoods Resort Casino with special guest, Safety Suit. The Goo Goo Dolls Live. Tickets on sale now. Visit foxwoods.com or call 1-800-200-2882. Goo Goo Dolls.
Thirst for the extraordinary. Perrier.
Knicks in a 9-point hole with 3:09 remaining fourth quarter here at the Garden. Today's stars of the game brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Spike Lee right now a little quiet. Dexter Fowler of the World Series champions. Cecily Strong from Saturday Night Live. Brooklyn's own Jerry Ferrera. And Jeff Ament from Pearl Jam and Temple of the Dog. Temple of the Dog going to be at the Garden tomorrow night. All those enjoying the action, but right now a little quiet as the Knicks led much of this game. But a 7-0 run to start the fourth quarter put them in a hole, and the Knicks just not able to get stops. They've been outscored here in the fourth quarter, 26-15. And look at the difference in shooting in the second half.
Rose heroics keeping them close, but Melo and KP now have to step up.
Nice feed inside. Carmelo Anthony now with 24. 7-point game. Thomas on Hayward.
Dangerous pass.
Hill gets it back, 7 to shoot. Hill drives, nice feed to Gobert. Oh, Gobert with the left hand over Porzingis.
That's your liberty. Oh, that was mesmerizing.
Porzingis fakes the three, drives, tried to sidestep, looked to bank it, and it wouldn't go. And the Knicks starting to run out of time.
Because the Jazz are going to use a lot of time on the shot clock here.
You're watching the Foxwoods Final Five as we come up 2 minutes remaining. Hayward off balance. I think Rose got a piece of it. Knicks need to push.
Jazz can be aggressive. They have fouls to give.
Rose to Porzingis. Porzingis blocked by Gobert. Ball tipped out to Lee. His jump shot. That won't go. Fight for the rebound. Porzingis tips it. And a foul called on Lee. Rudy Gobert with a slam and a block. 2 highlight plays for the Utah Jazz.
Let's take a look at Gobert. Recently signed that $100 million contract. He's earned it tonight, this afternoon. Rising majestically with the left hand and the flush.
That's over a 7-3 guy.
Hang time. Hanging and banging.
And then a terrific block. Gobert inspired by his $100 million deal. He's got 4 blocks here today. Shot clock down to 7.
Just a profile and perseverance by the Jazz.
Knicks need a sense of urgency here. Need to push. And Anthony, a blocking foul. Only the 4th team foul, but Gobert is fouled out.
Let's take a look at more grandeur by Gobert. As he blocked KP's shot after dunking on him previously, keeping his ball alive, but giving the Jazz an opportunity.
He fouls out in 33 minutes, 13 points, 8 boards, and 4 block shots.
Yeah, but an impressive outing for him. He knows it. He's satisfied with his effort this afternoon.
The 24-year-old from France. A fabulous rim protector. Shot clock said 24. That's what Matt Boland is checking on. 1:15 remaining in the game.
Knicks need look no further than their futility from the free throw line and the hacking and whacking. Not playing defense, sending these guys to the line too frequently.
They had 29. Now, they haven't done it in the 4th quarter. 29 free throw attempts for Utah, all through 3 quarters. As favors just a ridiculous foul to put them in a penalty, which I can't believe it. That's the last thing you want to do if you're Utah. So Porzingis will go to the line. 22 points for Porzingis. He had 14 of them in the 1st quarter, but he got in foul trouble.
Every game, like the last game, he had 27 and didn't play the last 7 minutes of that game in Chicago because of foul words.
Lots to talk about on this one. So Alan and Wally will have you the next post-game show presented by Ford coming up.
Well, we've seen their worst in Cleveland. We saw their best in Chicago. And what would you call this? Will the real Knicks stand up?
7-point game. George Hill wisely taking time off the clock. Knicks switch. Hill gets away. Crossover move. Kicks it out. Johnson. Corner 3. Won't go. Porzingis the rebound.
You're the Jazz. You don't want to foul.
A foul on the entry pass on Joe Johnson. Although, if you're Utah with 45 seconds to go, the last thing you want is 3-pointers. The second thing is having the clock stop. Knicks shooting free throws. And Snyder wanting this road win to start their 5-game trip.
Previously played favors with the dubious foul. Now JJ.
Knicks now 7 for 7 from the line in the fourth quarter. This would cut it to 5. Knicks still have a pair of timeouts remaining. Trying to get themselves back in it at the line. There's full court pressure. Still trying to get away. Now they cut him off and they have to call timeout. And there's only 1 more second to get it across or they'll advance the ball. If they call 2 timeouts. Otherwise they have a second to get it across the timeline.
That timeout in a nick of time. They would have gotten a violation.
Be interesting to see what they do here, Clyde, because the shot clock says 17. You have to get 8 seconds to get it across the timeline. What they have to do is call a second timeout, and then you can advance the ball off the timeout. So we'll see what Quinn Snyder decides to do.
I think he's compelled to do that, Mike. They can't get it up in 1 second.
Because they still have 2 remaining. Look at the shooting percentage for the Jazz here in the fourth quarter. And that's still the number 1 area. You talk about offensive chemistry and sharing the ball. No question about it. It's part of the work in progress for the Knicks. But the key area of improvement has got to be that consistent defensive effort.
Yep.
So Scott Foster explaining it. Now they're going to take that second timeout. So a second consecutive timeout, that allows him to advance the ball and negates the possibility of a 8-second violation.
Mike mentioned his team 1 game shy of making the playoffs last season.
Bench players are out.
All right, getting Haywood back this afternoon obviously helped. He was lethal from the free throw line. There's Diaw, another Frenchman.
So Diaw and Gobert, 2 Frenchmen on this team. All right, so now they'll have it in the front court, 17 to shoot. Knicks still have their 2 timeouts left. The Knicks obviously desperately need a stop. And 5. So a 3-pointer idle for the Knicks. In any hopes of getting this back in or tying it.
Jazz have the option of throwing it in the backcourt. Melo guarding JJ in the backcourt.
Trying to open up the floor a little bit. Hill comes up and gets it. It should not foul here, and underneath his hood. I don't know if that was a set play, but that was perfectly executed. George Hill has had a magnificent game.
The Knicks were between a rock and a hard place to begin with, so they had to try something, and obviously it backfired. Watch the double team, which they're compelled to do. And Hood has been their nemesis this afternoon.
12 points in the fourth.
Hey guys. Hey. Oh, is this the new boyfriend? Yes. We haven't met yet. You're the sweetest. Yes. Do you want to hold him?
Hold my baby, man.
So easy to dip, so hard to put down. Rolled chicken tacos. Tasty shredded chicken all rolled up with your choice of dips. Back at Taco Bell.
Range Rover Sport. Land Rover, above and beyond.
In a game, the Knicks are shooting 49% from the field, over the 100-point mark, but they trail by 7. Next up for the Knicks will be the Brooklyn Nets on Wednesday. We'll have it for you on MSG. Our pregame coverage starts at 7, tip-off at about 7:40. As the Knicks on the verge of dropping their second straight here at the Garden. They'll need a miracle here. Excuse me, that game starts at 7 in the 6:30 pregame. My mistake.
What game is that?
The Brooklyn game. So get here early, Clyde. Anthony, nice adjustment, flips it up and in. That makes it back to 5. Knicks can't afford to have the shot clock go down, so if they can't get an 8-second violation, which is not going to happen, now they need to foul. And underneath is Favors, throws it back out. Knicks have to foul, and they do Hayward. Hayward, who's only 12 for 12 from the free throw line today, as Anthony picks up his 4th foul. Well, he probably won't reach the record, but Karl Malone and Adrian Dantley. Karl Malone is a great example of if you put the work in. His first year in the league, he shot somewhere in the 50th percentile from the free throw line, and he wound up shooting over 80% on a couple of seasons. Hayward perfect from the line. First game back, 28 points, half of the points from the free throw line. Porzingis inside, nice feed from Rose. Knicks have to foul right away. Joe Johnson, the one that's fouled. That's the Knicks' only hope. Knicks still have 1 timeout remaining. If the Jazz miss some free throws, it'll open the door.
Yeah, remember that serendipity by JJ? The ball hit the top of the backboard and went in for a big 3-pointer.
It's amazing how sometimes the fortunate bounce of the ball makes all the difference.
Yeah, that was a key play.
That was very key. Johnson gets stopped. Joakim Noah, just 20 minutes of action. They missed his interior defense part in the second half. Johnson hits a pair. And a timeout call by Jeff Hornacek. That's the Knicks' final timeout. Down by 7. Many in the crowd now heading for the Sunday afternoon beautiful weather in New York City.
Yeah, go over to Clyde's winding down. I'll see you over there after the game. Talk about what went wrong today.
Try the donuts for dessert. Trust me on that.
Dipped in chocolate, right? Chocolate sauce?
Well, there's a couple of different sauces. That's what makes it so nice. Of course, the Knicks postgame coming up, presented by Ford, Al Trautwig, Alan Hahn, Wally Zerbiak. We'll talk about today's game, the ups and the downs, what they saw. We'll hear from Jeff Hornacek. We'll hear from the Knicks players. And head into the locker room. Complete post-game coverage coming up with the guys. So Derrick Rose, 16 points, 8 assists. He had 4 turnovers today.
He erupted too late for the Knicks' heroics in the 4th quarter, but not enough.
Against a very good young Jazz team, when they get their whole team complete, and Hayward the biggest part to come back. What a difference he made. 28 points in his first game of the season. Courtney Lee has it. Porzingis turns, fires a 3. Short, that won't go. Gets it back again. Fakes and drives into Hayward, who fouled him. With 10.1 remaining.
It all started so well for the Knicks, Mike.
A terrific start. Knicks led by 10 in the first quarter, led by as many as 13 in the second. But their defense let them down this afternoon. Now, it's a 6-point game, 10.1. The game is pretty much over. But if you had any hopes, Porzingis would be better off missing this to try and get a rebound and kick it out for a 3. Anthony is done for the night, or the day.
He's out of timeout, Fred.
Like he tried to miss it.
I think so. Porzingis and Anthony each with 28 points. Good individual offense, but it was the other end of the floor that betrayed them.
One shy of KP's career high.
That was close to a 5 seconds. Hill is fouled. George Hill, 21 points, 9 assists. Quinn Snyder loves having this veteran on his team. Hill is 30 years old. He's made the playoffs 7 of his first 8 years in the league. 75 playoff games, of course, with San Antonio and with Indiana. He'd be a good poker player. He just doesn't show emotion. First member of his family to attend college. The first member of his school to be drafted in the NBA. IUP Milan in Indianapolis. There's Carmelo Anthony. comes back out, or comes back in, excuse me. He's gone back to his natural hair look. He had a weird blonde look.
Right? I guess he didn't have enough fun with that one.
Anthony back in. Anthony gets it, kicks it out to Rose. Rose puts up a three. That's good. That makes it a 4-point game with 4.2 remaining. They're going to check to make sure it's a three. They have to do it under 2 minutes to go right away.
Well, the Knicks gallantry here is all in, well, I won't say it's in vain yet. It's not over. It looked like he was towing the line.
Yeah, I think that left foot's on the line, so a 2-pointer.
Yeah.
So they quickly make that decision.
Well, we know where it went wrong, folks. 2 minutes. These guys shot 35 free throws.
Right.
So that's what kept them in the game until they finally got their offense going. So the Knicks know what they have to work on, what they need to work on.
They're still doing on the. They're still switching most of the time, and that's Hornacek wants them to take that responsibility and pride to fight over and stay with your man, not always just relying on the help, because it puts them in some bad matchups.
I thought some of those fouls were frivolous too, Mike, because they were trying to get into it with the refs that they weren't fouling, kept complaining, testing the refs. Obviously, win that battle.
So now the Knicks won't foul. That will do it. Disappointing second half for the Knicks. A strong start, led by double figures early in the second quarter, but their defense let them down as the Jazz come up big on the road. Knicks had a lead going into the fourth quarter, but the Jazz able to do it with a 36-point fourth quarter. They shoot 63% from the field in the second half as the Knicks lose their second straight at home. Much more to come, including the 4 Knicks postgame. That's up next as the Knicks lose to the Jazz.
Today, here's a look at what's coming up after the game on MSG Network.